Well, hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of September, right through the end of October 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So with that in mind, let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aries, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? What do they need to be aware of at this time regarding their career and their money situation? Can you please highlight the way? What do they need to see at this time? What are they going through and how is it going to evolve for them at this moment in time? Can you please highlight what they need to be aware of? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Now, I am getting an energy of expansion on whatever it is that you're doing right now. So that's definitely, I mean, look, you got the sun energy, so that's definitely an expanding energy there. That is your protagonist energy. So you're growing through your industry, nurturing your skill set, building something that is going to be truly successful indeed. I mean, the sun energy is about getting clarity. It's about being positive and obviously cultivating positive habits and mindsets and new skills, maybe even in your industry to help you build on what you have already or, you know, branch out in some way. But the sun energy is, you know, you being super focused, diligent, and trying to own your time and really blossom in an industry and allow yourself to be seen or make yourself known in an industry there. Now we have the Tower. It's in the resistance position. That's pretty much where you want it to be, either in the resistance position or, you know, in the protagonist energy. And it can indicate, yes, there's some changes going on in your industry there, but these are going to be positive for you. Now, looking at the world energy there as well as an outcome, this means you are focused on your goals. You're doing it all, okay? The world card can indicate that you're doing so much right now. You're encompassing so many tasks and responsibilities, and you are completing those tasks to a high degree. A lot of you are looking at ongoing projects, rolling contracts, and pretty much doing what you normally do and perhaps even just taking it day by day. I mean, look, we got the Chariot card there as well, which is all about expansion. It's about elevation, determination, willpower to succeed. Queen of Pentacles is crossing that Tower, so this can indicate that you are building financially. You're trying to multiply your wealth. You may have a sudden idea that is an epiphany that helps you either build a second stream of income or put yourself in a position to move into a new sector or promotion or some sort of new role that fosters extra money. Queen of Pentacles is always multiplying wealth, working really hard for whatever it is that you do, and of course being the architect of your dreams. However, there is a Tower there, so it can indicate with that Queen of Pentacles, because that is a person, of course. Oh, there's a King and a Queen of Pentacles there. So it's all about the finances there. So it could be a restructure of your personal finances. I mean, the Tower in this position actually means you avoid anything negative, okay? It can be that you are revamping your financial strategy, or you are protecting your finances but in a different way. You may be locking off certain finances in different accounts so that you can't touch them, for example. But I will pull a card on that Tower just to be clear for you. We also have the Knight of Pentacles there as well. So let us get straight to your energy reading. We have the Sun, and it's all about energy. A lot of you are exhausted. You may even have been running on empty, at capacity. You may feel like you've been holding the fort, going that extra mile, and you're starting to see the results, or you will be over the coming weeks. The Sun energy is about making a difference, and this can be a lot of growth in your industry or in your role. You're having the energy to move forward. There is an energy of you being aware of either a new direction, or, you being aware of where you feel drained, because the moon, it cannot shine all by itself. You have the moon card there as well. The moon requires the sun, of course, to shine. So you could be looking at people or situations, or maybe even tasks and responsibilities that tend to drain your energy. So you could be approaching them in a different way, or maybe even getting them done quicker so they don't drain your energy too long. Often when you have an unfinished project that's calling to you, that can drain your energy because you're aware it's there and you need to get it done. It could be sitting there calling to you. So it could be that you are completing tasks that perhaps you have been meaning to get around to doing, and that just gives you extra energy for other things. But also, whatever industry you are working in, this card can indicate that you are either promoting yourself, getting yourself out there, being seen, being appreciated after a long period of feeling like you have been either going unnoticed or not being appreciated. The Sun energy indicates you will be seen. Now, this can be that you're stepping into the spotlight for some sort of reward. The Chariot card is a breakthrough, but also it is a victory. This is definitely your willpower taking you to the top, or helping you advance in whatever industry you are in right now. And like if you run your own business, for example, this could be that you are getting yourself out there through marketing tools, promoting yourself, maybe even like revamping your website or business cards, or perhaps there's something different going on in your company. For some of you, it could be a merge, or it could be, some sort of restructure there. If you run your own company, of course, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you are someone who is a small independent worker, there could be some changes you're making that actually help things be more efficient. Because remember, the King and the Queen of Pentacles will go into the upright there, which means, money-making tools, ideas, and you working really hard to attract more wealth there. Also, if you run a business where you actually hire people yourself, there could be a surprise leave. So someone could give it in their notice. You're actually going to find someone who, does a really good job, just like the other person. But I feel like they bring a little bit more to the role than the person who's leaving. That's something that's coming on in there for you. But I'll leave that there because, of course, not everybody is dealing with that. The Sun energy is basically being appreciated and having that raw passion. So you could be like driving out all your tasks, completing them, and just on to the next. But also the Sun energy can be that you're in the spotlight for some sort of win over the next coming weeks, or some sort of news that you'll celebrate, because the Chariot card is an energy, of course, of winning and being steadfast to your goals, and also keeping a tight rein on your finances. So that's why I see some of you could be restructuring your finances on a personal level. But also, if you run your own business, you could be reinvesting in yourself by learning new skills, or, downloading new knowledge there. Now, if you work for a company, this is a very fast-paced environment. I mean, whether you work for a company or not, the Chariot card tells me that you're going to be very busy. You may be pushed and pulled in many different directions, but I feel like you like to be busy, especially when it's something that you're passionate about, and the next coming weeks are no different there. But the moon, on a personal level, you could be looking at where you feel drained in your energy, because of course the Sun is an energy card, but also you may be looking at what's draining your finances. So if you have dependents, for example, now don't shoot the messenger when I say this, there could be a surprise purchase. Okay, so for example, if you got children and they got cell phones, they could by accident pay for something that's connected to their cell phone, and the bill goes to you if you pay for their cell phone, for example. Or it could be that there is some sort of surprise, financial surprise there. But looking at the energy, I feel like you will get compensation, or you'll get your money back if it's something that, of course, should not have been taken out too early. I would say no matter who you are over the next coming weeks and months, if you have like an ongoing payment for something, because the World card is an ongoing cycle of something, if you have like a direct debit for something, the Chariot card can indicate that the money is taken out early or earlier than usual. So if you pay a bill, because it feels very practical, whatever this is, and say, for example, it goes out on the 1st of the month, they could actually take it out at the end of the previous month, maybe even a week earlier. So if you don't have the funds in there, or it's a little bit more than what you've got in there, there could be a penalty charge or notice, but you'll be able to contest this because you have a contract that states that that direct debit should be taken out on a specific date. And if they've taken it earlier and they've put you into debt, or they've caused you a penalty notice, then they are responsible and you will get compensated. So that's coming out there. That may not resonate with any of you. I hope it doesn't resonate with any of you, but it is coming through. So maybe it's something that you'll have to chase, because this is a chaser card there. But the Sun energy and the Chariot, you're driven. Okay, and the Moon card, you're driven to focus on your dreams. You're digging a little bit deeper, you're learning new knowledge, you're investing in yourself, and a lot of you, this could be a period of skill development. So it could be that you are doing some research, because this can be a very soul-searching card there, and it can be that something is in development at this time that you're excited to move forward on, and you may be giving a little extra energy to it at this time, at the same time as doing something else. Now, the Chariot card for a lot of you can be second streams of income or duality. So if you work for a company, it can be that you have many tasks and responsibilities, and they're going to keep you busy. Okay, for some of you, if you work for a company, for example, there could be some surprise, absences, and you may have to pick up the slack, or, hold the fort there. I hate to give you that message, but it keeps you extra busy, and it may feel like a bit of a drain on your energy that you're picking up. I mean, it's unseen. I mean, I can see it, but I mean, it's something that is impromptu. So if you work for a company and there's people in your department, there could be 2 people off at the same time, for example, and you're like, what? And then you have to pick up the slack there. And if you work for yourself, it can be that there is a delay in something that either you purchase, or perhaps you have to return something regarding your business in some way. I mean, you could also deal with a person if you run your own business. This could be someone who's very stubborn, or someone who perhaps doesn't follow through on a promise. I hate to give you that message, but it's coming through there. So if you outsource anything to either a company or to a service, whether it's your accountant, or whether it's to a tax advisor, or whether it's, someone that logistically helps you with your business in some way, there could be a delay, or it could be that there's no follow through. Make sure you get an email or something in writing if someone is promising to do it and you're paying them to do it, because they could shock you with that Tower energy, and it could be that you have to chase it. Okay, you will get it completed, but if you're paying for a service, you probably shouldn't have to. And for some of you, this could also be like subscriptions that perhaps you don't utilize as much as usual. This could be personal. It doesn't have to be connected to career or business. It can be on a personal level. You are cutting out some of the services or things that you pay for that perhaps you've been meaning to get round to cutting off or disconnecting from. For some of you, and this is certainly not going to resonate with all of you, there is an energy of you meaning to get round to canceling something. Now, this could be a free trial on like a subscription for maybe a social media platform, or some sort of technology or tool or subscription, like a software program, or maybe it's something personal like a TV station or something. You've been meaning to get round to doing it, or even if you've moved like to a new neighborhood, you've been meaning to disconnect from a direct debit or something from your previous neighborhood, this is your friendly wake-up call, because the Tower is a wake-up call to cut it off and conserve your money. It just brings in extra finances there as well, okay? So random, I know, but that's just come through there. But this means you're ambitious, whatever it is you're doing. For some of you, there could be some changes in your working environment. Some may shock you. I will pull a card when I get to that Tower energy. And I want to address anyone who's come to this reading and you've been either made redundant or you walked away from a very toxic working environment and you're currently out of work and you're looking for a new role. Now, of course, not everybody is dealing with that. This is only if you've just come to this reading and you are seeking new employment. I would say there is a very high-ranking position coming on in here, or a role that has more responsibility than before. I feel it's something you're going to love there. But we do have a Knight of Pentacles. Now, I hate to give you this message, but for some of you, you're going to love the role. However, you may have to negotiate up in the salary, because the Knight of Pentacles indicates that, you know, in comparison to the King of Cups, there probably should be a little bit more money available for this role. So after going for an interview, if you're not happy with the money that is on offer for the amount of work and responsibility that you'll be doing, you know, I feel there are some alternatives that come in, but I actually feel these two are connected. So I feel like you may negotiate a deal where the money is, you know, balanced and reciprocal for the amount of work that you'll be doing. But I'm just going to pull a card on that. The Queen of Pentacles can indicate a more of a supporting role, or, you know, a lesser title role coming on in. So actually, I feel like you'll have two to decide from, but I feel like you go for the high-ranking role. You're actually going to develop in this company. That's if you want to work for a company. I do see a role coming up there for you. Can you please clarify these two kings? Six of Swords and the Devil. Okay. I mean, the Devil card can be that you want more money in the situation, or you feel stuck in negotiations. Six of Swords can indicate that, you know, if you asked for more, you'd expect to get a no, but I feel like you'll be pleasantly surprised. Sometimes it's important to ask for an amount of money that's like here, when really you want something that's here, and then they will negotiate you down to get what actually you really want. Okay, so just be mindful. But I do see an interview coming on in here, perhaps two interviews, but one of them actually you may not even go to, because you take the other role and negotiate the better deal. But that's, you know, not all of you. That's about 10% of you. The rest of you will go to both interviews, is what I'm seeing there. I mean, the Devil card is passion. It doesn't have to be that you're feeling stuck, but I am getting this energy with that Six of Swords that if you feel stuck in the negotiations, Six of Swords indicates you're protected and directed accordingly to a better role or an opportunity. I mean, Six of Swords indicates a test as well, passing a test. So you valuing yourself and saying, actually, I deserve more in this role, or this role, you know, requires more money. I feel like you're going to diplomatically ask for it, but you'll get it, okay? You'll get a fair amount of money there. So that's important to know at this time. Now, for the rest of you, I feel this energy of change going on in your industry. And of course, this can be like some sort of refurbishment or relocation for some of you. And if you're an independent worker, this could be you looking for alternative premises that perhaps are cheaper, so you save money, because in this position, this can be that you're conserving your finances, okay? That you're being really money savvy. I mean, with that King of Pentacles there, a lot of you are going to be focused on administrative tasks, emails, correspondence, spreadsheets, receipts. It could be the end of year tax return for some of you, or business end of year for some of you, because we have that World card there. And it can be that, you know, you are trying to get ahead of yourself and make sure you have everything done there. The Moon is an energy of hidden, okay? And for some of you, if you are doing tax time, there could be a receipt that you cannot find. I hate to give you that message, but it's there, so I have to acknowledge it. Now, if you live with a partner, if you have, you know, a roommate or a partner, romantic partner, or family member, I'm just getting this energy that they tidied it away. So if it's something, if you do business from home, for example, it could be it gets tidied away in a drawer or something. They didn't throw it out, okay? And if you work in an office, for example, and like you hire an office and do your work out of an office, it could be that someone has tidied your desk. They thought they were doing you a favor, but it feels like it may have been mislaid. You will find this receipt, and you will find it in time, is what I'm being given, if it's an important receipt, okay? I'm just going to walk away from that message because, of course, that's not going to resonate with all of you. I mean, the moon can also indicate that some of you are a little bit nervous of some of the changes in your working environment. You know, the tower can indicate that there's been some radical changes and maybe even shocks, redundancies, or removals from industry, closures and stuff like that. But because the tower is in this position, it means you are protected against any kind of radical change there. And I feel this is a positive, of course, because I feel like you grow in your industry. And like, don't get me wrong, I feel like you're working really hard. You're knocking things out of the park. You're ticking things off your to-do list. You're very goal-oriented with the world energy, and you're doing it all. So you really are an asset to any team that you work with or any company that you work with. Knight of Pentacles means that you're very practical at this time, hardworking, faithful, and loyal to your endeavors. Even if you work for yourself, this can be that you're being very diligent, disciplined, you're making a lot of effort, and you're going to see a payoff. Whenever you get this card, it means your perseverance and your true grit will bring in a payoff. It means you're working efficiently and effectively, you're dedicated to something, and you're determined to show up, and your efforts will bring rewards there. You're leading with integrity, and I feel it's more important that you love what you do. And of course, I see a lot of goals being accomplished there, and there being a win, okay? Now, we get to this tower. I'm going to pull a card on it just to see what it means for you. I mean, for some of you, because these are two people, right? I want to see if it's two people who shock you or who kind of... I mean, the tower in the resistance position, it can be that they have been micromanaging you. If you work in a company, it can be two people who are like a clique who've been singling you out. They may get a bit of a shock, or they may get their comeuppance, or one of them, or maybe even both of them, may decide to leave or be exited from the company. For example, there may even be a shocking expose that these two people are in a relationship, because these two cards can be like a couple, okay? And of course, love is love, but you know, it could be that they have been taking advantage of their situation in some way. So I just need to pull a card on that, because also this could be like two people you get to meet who are very beneficial, but I'm going to take them as aspects of self, you trying to conserve your finances and your energy for things that matter. You are building your knowledge in things like generational wealth, but also these two cards in this position. For some of you, you may be looking at like a breach of security, or perhaps you are making sure that all your things are secure. So if you work in a company, it could be that a company sends out like a phishing email and some people fall for it and you don't, for example, because the tower indicates you avoid this disaster. It can be that you're tested because the Six of Swords came out. It's like you pass a test. I mean, if you're going for an interview, it can be two people who are really kind of nonchalant, who feel like they're not very engaged, or it feels like it's not going very well, but actually you pass their test and you grab the deal or the job there. But we have the Queen of Swords, another person, and a Three of Swords. Okay. Now, the Queen of Swords can indicate, of course, structure, and the Three of Swords can indicate, you know, some sort of challenge or struggle. I mean, if you work for yourself, there could be something coming in here that messes with your schedule a little bit. Maybe it's a bit of a plot twist. It could be that suddenly you have an important meeting. Even if you work for a company, it could be suddenly you have to reschedule plans in order to have a meeting with HR or with like the main CEOs or something of the company. It could be there's something critical that needs to be addressed and there's a gathering, a meeting, or a review, because the Queen of Swords is a review card. It can be an appraisal or some sort of important meeting, and it can talk about challenges with that Three of Swords, but also it can be that suddenly someone recognizes that you're under a lot of pressure and kind of puts you up for some sort of win, or tells you that yes, there's been a lot of challenge, but you are someone who is going to benefit from some of the outcomes there. I mean, for example, if you work for a company, this could be that there are some redundancies, right? But you have cards of protection. Six of Swords is protected and directed, and the World card literally means you're staying where you are at right now, and you know the right opportunities are about to find you. This is a card of success, fruitfulness. So, you know, it can be that either someone leaves the company of their own free will and shocks everyone, gives their notice, or it can be that there are some redundancies and, you know, there is a procedure that kind of happens there as well that will have to be followed as a protocol. So it could disrupt the energy within the office or within the company that you work for, okay? And if you work for yourself and you have to have any difficult conversations with anybody who works for you, or even anyone you outsource your trade to, or you get helping you run your business, I would say get everything in writing to avoid any kind of misrepresentation or misunderstanding, because Queen of Swords is to be very direct. Be precise, write it down, get it documented. And the Three of Swords is miscommunication, hardship, or someone taking something the wrong way or being a little bit sensitive or defensive. So just watch out for that, you know, especially if you are dealing with a group of people, or if this group of people or a person tends to be very challenging. I feel it's important to get everything in writing. Or if you deal with customers or clients that are known to be a challenge and they like something a certain way, but they are known to be changeable, I would say get the brief in writing or the quote in writing so that you can proceed and everyone knows that they're on the same page, okay? I mean, the Queen of Swords can also be that, you know, you are at capacity right now on a personal level. You're doing it all, you're structured, you're organized, and you have a plan. But the Three of Swords indicates it's really hard to move forward. And for some of you, because these two cards initially are in the resistance position, you may feel like you don't have the tools or the resources to move ahead on something, but actually they will be made available to you because these cards go into the upright. Now, because the Queen of Swords has shown up, which highlights a person, it can be that this is like the same person who perhaps has not been pulling their weight, and either they shockingly decide to leave, or it can indicate that unsurprisingly they are out, you know, or not at work, for example, and you have to pick up the extra slack there. But I'm going to remove myself from that energy because it seems to be going down the same energy route, and I want to talk more about you and your success and what's going on here, because there's a lot of good stuff coming your way. I mean, for some of you, this is you fostering an energy of keeping your eyes peeled to, of course, be productive, because you are, and optimizing your workflow, utilizing the tools that you have at your disposal to be more efficient, but you may be actively pursuing promotions or advancement opportunities because you want to expanding your reach. If you work for yourself, for some of you, it could be that you're thinking about the logistics of migrating your business abroad or being more nomadic in your working industry. So it can be that you're looking at getting advice from someone who's well known in the industry, someone who can give you solid financial advice. These could be two financial advisors. One could be like a tax accountant. The other person could be an accountant or a lawyer, or someone who is in a position of authority who can give you the advice that you need in order to take the next steps on something. For some of you, the Tower, it can be that you're restructuring your business. If you're an entrepreneur, for example, or you have your own business, it could be that you don't want to misstep. You want to get some advice. And if you avoid getting any qualified advice, you may have to revisit, or you may have to start a process again. For some of you, you may have like a little shock that you missed something that was not readily available to be known. Okay, so it could be like a small clause or a minor misstep that you like honestly didn't realize you were making, because you have cards here that highlight you're being open, honest, you're leading with integrity. Queen of Swords is the truth. So I feel It's always good to get financial advice. Now, if you work for a company, for some of you, this could also be that your company is bringing in some financial advisors to talk about 401ks or pension pots, for example. And the Tower can indicate a need to restructure. So it could be that either you are busy during the time of the meeting and you have to reschedule, or perhaps something comes in left field, plot twists you, and you have to last minute cancel, because I'm getting an energy here of a surprise more than anything. Something else comes on in and you have to deal with it, and it may just change the way that your schedule works. Now, Queen of Pentacles, of course, is an energy of focusing on nurturing your finances. Because there are two major pentacle cards here and you have the Chariot, a lot of you are having money-making ideas right now in order to pick up second streams of income, or have an idea, like a sudden epiphany, like a wake-up call, like, oh, you know what, I could do this. I'm very creative in this area, or this idea will be awesome, and you start to launch something. With that Queen of Pentacles, some of you may be thinking about an idea from home, because of course Queen of Pentacles is all about abundance, but also domesticity. So it can be that, you know, you are either selling pre-loved goods and getting extra money in, or it can be that you are doing something creative and selling something from your home space, or just running a business online from your home, and it will be very lucrative. I mean, these cards in the upright mean that you are conserving your finances, you're being very protective, you know, locking portions off to protect it and save what you can with the resources that you have. And the King of Pentacles is to be in positions to manifest more. You know, you are someone who works really hard every day, you're staying focused, you're grounded, and you're consciously aware of what you need to do in order to, you know, find more opportunities. And I feel there could be a sudden opportunity come your way, because the Tower is a bit of a surprise there. There could be a sudden money-making idea, or even a sudden promotion thrust into the mix of conversations if you work for a company there. And with the King of Cups, again, the money has to be right. I mean, you'd love it, but the money has to be right there. And the Knight of Pentacles indicates you worked hard for this, and you will continue to work hard for this as well. It feels like you've got more responsibility there. You'd be a great leader. I feel like you're a natural born leader. Kings, emperors, empresses tend to be all about promotion vibes. So I feel there is this energy, though, for some of you, of a stepping stone. Okay, coming out of a comfort zone, moving into like different territory. So you may feel this is a stepping stone or a sidestep at first, but then you lock onto, you know, the position you want. So this could be that for some of you, it's probation period, and then suddenly you seal the deal, because I'm seeing a contract here for some of you. Or it can be that there are two roles, as I mentioned, that one perhaps is not fulfilling like the other one, and you try to get the right money on it, but I feel like you'll negotiate that better deal, okay? Now, King of Pentacles indicates that you are someone who is already very smart, and, you know, for some of you, because it is in the resistance position at first, it tells me that you may feel you haven't quite reaped the rewards of all your hard work just yet, but I feel like you will. This is a card of you enjoying business or whatever it is you do, and also wanting to be able to afford the best in life, which I feel like you're working towards, and it's going to happen for you. Very serious energy. You have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders, but I would say because these are cards that connect to administrative tasks, there could be something, and because it's all in the resistance position, and we've got the moon energy, check your spam folder, check your hard copy mail. You know, make sure you just check, because there could be a very official document. Now, for some of you, this could be a check, or it could be like some sort of bursary or award, but it may not be readily seen, or it gets misplaced, or it goes to the spam folder and you just don't see it. Or perhaps, as I said, someone you live with may go, oh, I'm going to tell Aries about that later on, and then they forget. And their heart's in the right place, but they just forget. It goes out of their mind. And it could like surprise you, shock you, but for some of you, it's time sensitive. Okay, so if you've applied for something, or you're waiting for something to come on in and it hasn't, you may need to chase something. But if it's time sensitive, please check all the usual lines of inquiry, like spam folder, and, you know, ask people if you live with anyone else if they have put it somewhere else, because I feel for a lot of you, this has come in. It's already been delivered and it goes unnoticed or unseen. So just watch out for that, because there is some sort of time sensitive thing going on there. With those pentacles, I feel a lot of you are investing in yourself, cultivating new skills, okay? And I feel you want to come out of your comfort zone and try something new. So it could be new technology or an upgrade in some area in order to stay relevant in your industry and foster good working habits there. King of Pentacles energy there indicates that you are utilizing time management, you're prioritizing your tasks and responsibilities, and you're aligning your efforts with achievements. Okay, so I'm quite excited about that for you. Also, on a personal level, some of you may... Okay, thank you so much, I'm so grateful. I'm seeing two things. One is you may be looking at new apps or new technology that helps you be more on top of your finances, or keep an eye on your spending habits. If you've overspent in the previous month, I feel like you are replenishing your funds, as it were. If you're worried about finances, I feel also that you don't want things to get critical. The Tower is in the resistance position. It won't get critical, but you may have to call, either customer services or some sort of governing body, that if you have a bill that's outstanding with them, you may need to call up and give them the situation. You're going to find a person who's very sympathetic, who actually helps you structure something, a repayment plan in a ways where... Okay, so we just had a power cut. And we're back, okay? So for some of you, that tower could literally be a power cut, okay? But, no, that's just me. So I thought I'd just stay there for a moment, because I got confirmation from my guides that it will come back on momentarily. So that's why I stayed very still. But as I was saying about the apps, I feel for some of you, you may actually have a glitch. Interesting that I've had a power cut just as I was picking up on that energy, but you may actually have a glitch in a financial app, okay? And you may need to chase this up, because there may be a little bit of a gremlin in the system, and it will be corrected. Nothing wrong there, but I just want you to be aware of that. Now, the World card, of course, is an energy where some of you are working really hard to get everything done super quick in order to have a vacation. If that's you, you're going to have a wonderful time there. And of course, it'll give you thinking time and, help you recharge your batteries to get back to best and then back to work there. But the World card is a card of success, of completion. So yes, you're going to be completing a lot of tasks, but this is a card of you looking at, I would say short term, because the Chariot is short term goals and long term goals, and you are on target, okay? Also, for some of you, this can indicate that you will have international links. So if you're someone who does business overseas, I feel you could have a new client or new customer base there. And if you are an influencer, this could indicate you go global or you're seen abroad in some way. And I am getting this energy of friends and relatives seeing you thrive and being shocked and surprised and excited. So, if you're someone who's an artist or a performer, or, you're in the public eye, this could be, two people who don't see you often, but now they see you in all your glory, either up there on the movie screen or a piece of art. I just feel like you're being seen. Also, if you are publicizing your work or you are promoting yourself, I feel the right money people are seeing you, because these could be financial backers, investors, or, it could be people in positions of authority who are noticing what you're doing. So whether you work for yourself or whether you work for a company, I say hierarchical positions, people in those positions are noticing what you're capable of. I feel if you work for yourself, this could be very wealthy. For some of you, donors, but it doesn't have to be. It can be wealthy customers or clientele who are, talking about your business through word of mouth, and they help you expand your reach, even overseas there. And for some of you, if you work for a company, this could be two people who are in positions of authority who surprise you by acknowledging that they've been watching what you're about, they really love you, and they want to help you thrive. I mean, for some of you, this could also be that there is, some sort of opportunity abroad for you, or it can be that you're asked to go to a new branch or figure ahead a new department or do something that requires a fresh new cycle, and they feel like you're the person who would totally boss up and do it, okay? Because we have that King of Cups. King of Cups is a leader, but it's someone who is diplomatic, is a peacekeeper, someone who's a good listener, who has all the qualities to make the right decisions. And I feel you're leading in your career or whatever it is that you're doing and fostering your ideas with love and developing something further. And, a lot of your cards are highlighting that it's very fast-paced, a little bit business as usual, bar a little bit of a plot twist there to your schedule is what I'm seeing, a reschedule or something comes in left field that perhaps demands a little bit more of your attention. But the King of Cups indicates it's important that you love what you do. And I feel if you're an entrepreneur, you could also be researching at this time people or companies or alliances or services that can help you support your business or that you can outsource to. And I feel like you will foster a relationship with some really good people who help your brand or whatever it is that you're about. But also the King of Cups, if you work in an industry, either for a company or for yourself, I feel this highlights that you love what you do, okay? And although money is important, it's more important to you that you feel like you're making an impact and that you're doing something that you love and that you're thriving in an environment that you feel nurtures your skill set. And if you feel like someone is not nurturing your skill set, you may be taking your work ethic and your talents and gifts elsewhere. So this could be the completion of, a role because you're done and you're moving on to something new there, something new that has like a higher title, more responsibilities, but it feels like you love it. Or it can also be that you have a very important review period where you get to talk about growing in the industry that you're in and fostering new opportunities for you to elevate and level up in your industry. Now, also, King of Cups. The King of Cups is important because you also have a King of Pentacles. And this tells me that you may be trying to learn more about money, like generational wealth or structures that perhaps are hidden to, everyday folk. For example, things like trusts to protect your finances or legal entities to structure your finances because, the Tower, especially in this position, it is more of a protector. In this, it can be that perhaps something doesn't feel stable. I would say if there's ever like a financial opportunity that just doesn't feel stable to you, looking at the energy, I wouldn't risk it. I don't know anything about, stocks and shares or, financial opportunities, of course, but always do your due diligence. Don't rush into anything. Always get the knowledge before you go for it. If it seems too good to be true, it normally is too good to be true. Get the knowledge on it first before you connect to it. But, I feel this is you finding structures because the Tower is something that stands out, but also it is some sort of construct. And it can indicate that you're protecting your finances with some sort of financial entity or structure at this time. And if you do not run your own business at this time, a lot of you could be legally structuring your own business. Get advice, of course, because you don't want to misstep or, be surprised along the way. I feel this is like you taking a leap of faith and being your own boss and loving that. But of course, it's a lot of responsibility, a lot of hard work, but you're totally there for it. And also, what else am I getting there? Also, if you've been feeling a little bit stuck financially, I feel that there's two energies coming through. One is you're smashing through a glass ceiling financially in order to reach new pay grades, okay? And I feel like you're determined to make that happen and it's going to happen for you. But also, I'm getting an energy that if you've been feeling stuck in general, like you've got a money blockage, I feel personally you're going to release yourself from that money blockage either through a ritual or, creating some sort of like money altar. For some of you, it can literally be that you are taking up some tourmaline or black obsidian to protect your energy against anything negative or any negative vibrations or thoughts, but also citrine, for example, that is all about success. Now, I'm not here to sell you any of those things. You will find a really great provider either online or locally to you there. But those two can really help you like limit any distractions or negative vibes, and of course help you expand financially or tap into better luck there as well. I feel a lot of you are redefining your goals as well in order to do more things that you love and be aligned with your sense of purpose. And the Knight of Pentacles indicates you worked hard for it, okay? I actually feel those big money cards in the middle indicate you're locking off certain resources so that you cannot touch them, okay? So this could be in like some sort of financial structure, lifetime ISA or an ISA. I mean, I don't know anything really about these things, but perhaps these are things that you know about or are connecting to at this time. I mean, I've heard of them, of course, but my guides are giving them to me, so I want you to be aware of that. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles can indicate you're stable in your position. You're someone who is diligent, loyal to your goals, and you're taking a certain route that takes a long time, but you are persevering, and, you know, you are someone who is going to be still standing in your industry. So even if there was a group of you doing what you do, it can be that you're the person who's taking it to the top, whilst other people fall away or just don't reach the level of success that you're reaching for right now. You're going all the way. And a lot of you may even step into some sort of spotlight where you're known globally or will become a household name. That's definitely the trajectory that you're on, but also this could be that you're fostering relationships and you are nurturing your reputation at this time as someone who is a hard worker. You know, you're going that extra mile and you're developing in an industry that is about to open doors for you to allow you to, you know, level on up there, okay? So I'm just going to go and get some extra cards for you. I definitely see second streams of income. I want you to be aware of that. Two sources of income, and it can be that it burns you out or it makes you feel exhausted. You're running on empty, holding it all together. But I feel that, you know, it's going to be very fulfilling for you long term. Just make sure you take some good quality rest, okay? Also, with that Knight of Pentacles energy, I feel like your finances are based on hard work or hard sort of research on how to make your money work hard for you. So a lot of you could be trying to work smarter, not harder, or trying to make your money work for you rather than you working for your money. Things like finding financial institutions that pay bigger yields, like better interest rates, or, you know, moving your money around, for example, in order to get better rates of return. So a lot of you could be focused on that sort of financial strategy at this time. But I definitely see that you're building through rituals or routines to stay on track. There's definitely habit formation here, and you're staying on top of your bills, keeping your house in order, like moving forward. And I feel a lot of you are maintaining and sustaining. There may be a bit of a brainstorming thing going on there as well, where you are fostering new ideas. But at the moment, I feel these are things that perhaps you'll connect to later on. It feels more than anything you're completing things, taking it step by step and doing what you normally do and trying to expand on that at this time. Okay, so we have depths under the surface. Digging a little bit deeper, I think I mentioned that earlier there, could be on some sort of research or development that you're going through. But it says here, more defined, things are not obvious, deep dive, true value, and worthy. So you are worthy of more. You are valuing your skill set. You know that already. And this is an energy of you maybe, as I mentioned, looking into financial structures that perhaps are not readily available to, you know, everyday folk like us. So it can be that you are finding structures that are not obvious, or you're doing a deeper dive in order to find out how the wealthy protect their finances or develop their finances. And for some of you, you could be looking at things abroad as well. We've also got domain. You're building your empire, okay? And it says here, ruler of your empire, greatness, position of power. I definitely see a lot of you, if you work for a company, there is some sort of promotion coming on in, but you may have to negotiate the funds on that. I've already said that there. Position of power, large home, respect, and wealth. I mean, there is an energy for some of you with that Chariot In the Tower, you could be moving home, relocating to a larger premises there, upgrading in some way. Some of you may even be thinking about going into real estate or looking at financial acquisitions that are solid, things that bring in passive income. I mean, with the Moon, a lot of your stuff is hands-on there, but you may be thinking about something that is automated. But this could be something that's online. You may even be partnering up with a social media platform there in order to get your message out, and it could bring in wealth there for you as well, perhaps. But I really feel more than anything, it's respect in your industry and your reputation as being someone who is awesome at what you do. Also, we've got float away. Okay, so this can be, of course, elevating in some area. It says winds of change blow. That's definitely something that's going on here. A lot of change going on in your industry, but I feel like you're being flexible with that. And it says lofty goals. Yes, you do, because you know you're taking it to the top. You know that you're capable of this greatness. You're already in a position where you are established at what you do. You're very talented and gifted. And, I feel you're reaching for something more. Your ideas are not full of hot air. You are someone who is on a quest in order to be better than yourself yesterday and reach a certain pinnacle point in your industry. And I feel like you're not going to stop until it's done. You're someone who is unstoppable, you're determined, and I feel like this is about you going that extra mile. And finally, we have sovereign. Interesting that you had, as I said, 2 kings here. This really highlights to me that, you are valuing your skill set and getting either a top promotion or a top opportunity. Yes, there's an energy of being successful, but also being responsible. You're someone who's self-made, okay? And you should really be very proud of yourself, of how far you've come. And of course, there's more to go, but I feel like you're doing a great job and you are on target. It says governing your own life, in charge, rising to the top, leadership, and freedom lifestyle. So this is what you could be aspiring to achieve. And for some of you with that world energy, you could be thinking about retirement. A lot of you could be thinking about 401ks right now, pension pots, speaking to advisors, being on course with your financial strategy and goals. But also, if you're retiring right now, this can be that, you're going to really love retiring for sure, going and doing more things that you love and kind of being more hands-on in the community and just getting involved, doing things that you never had time for. I feel like some of you will travel, and if you're someone who is thinking about retiring, you may even be thinking about purchasing a holiday home or something. It feels like a pipe dream for some of you right now, but this is something that will be your reality because you're working really hard to make it happen. So if that's something that you want to happen, I see it happening for you, okay? So that's coming through there as well. Now I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune. With the freedom aspect of this, a lot of you could be your own boss or you're working towards that in order to be financially free or be more independent there. A lot of you are locked down into repayment plans, repaying your mortgage and things like that. And I feel like as you break that debt down, it can be that you are then either leveraging some sort of debt in order to use it as an investment tool to build more wealth, or it can be that, you are making sure that there's more money in your pocket because you're taking down all of your debts and things like that. So, please apply it to your situation. It's not going to resonate with all of you. Now, we do have a symbol of drama there. So this can be outward facing, everyone sees your success, but behind the scenes, you're holding it all together and it is a struggle, challenge, you're at capacity there. But also it can be that you're really aware because you have a lot of practical cards where you're just aware that you're making a difference. And sometimes you got to take the rough with the smooth. We can't win every day, but there are wins that are coming in that you will celebrate. And of course, there are moments where you feel things will be a challenge or not go as far as you'd hoped. But that's often the universe protecting you from a certain path, saying, I know a better way, or this opportunity is even better. Have you thought about that? Because often humans, we tend to accept less than we truly deserve and desire in the long run. So this is you valuing yourself and knowing that you are, worthy of more. But also, for some of you, this could be an expose of some sort of drama in your industry or, in your working environment. And time to get the popcorn out there because it is juicy. But I feel that of course it will come to some sort of conclusion and then it will be forgotten about. You know, that's the nature of drama. You know, it comes and goes there. I feel a lot of your, you know, limiting distractions and drama, you're trying to stay away from it so that you can focus on something. And some of you are working behind the scenes on something and just trying to kind of like wait until it's ready before you expose it, get it out there. And, you know, I feel that's important to know that you are heading in the right direction with that. But also, wow, we've got my favorite 888. Now, this is the number of wealth. This is multiplying wealth. This is wealth, wealth, wealth. 8 is the number of wealth. So I would say there is money on your mind and your mind on the money, and you are looking at building, you know, positive working habits to expand your finances as well as your reach in your industry. And a lot of you are working really hard now to try and retire early. So it's a long, hard slog. We all know that, but I feel like you are on target for whatever it is you want to achieve, because that's what the World card means. Achieving a goal, getting to the destination point of where you desire to be, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates with you, my beautiful Aries. Also, if you'd like to win with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji of a candle in the comments box below. And if you don't have access to an emoji candle, then just write the word candle, of course, and then my guides will draw me to one subscriber, and I'll announce the winner at the end of September there, okay? And also, symbolically, maybe that, you know, power outage just now indicates that you're close to burnout, or protect your energy. You know, taking a moment to step back will just help re-energize you. And you know that anyway, but I thought I'd mention it there. I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Aries, and love and light.